Why is the problem? And what is the problem?
To be honest, our economic relationship with China, trade, investment is growing on a year-to-year basis. But you're right, we're lagging behind our neighbors. What are the reasons? The reasons are complex. One of the reasons that's maybe, of course, we know for the last 2 years during the pandemic, traffic was disrupted, cargo prices have risen sharply, etc. But in the same time, we see that in our neighbors, in Croatia, in Montenegro, in Romania, in Hungary, there has been substantial Chinese investment, which has been unfortunately lacking in.
Wait
For the doggy, okay.
Because it's a small dog.
Hot dog.
Yeah, sorry.
So I was saying, yes, we're lagging behind in economic cooperation behind our neighbors. Actually, there has been no big infrastructure project undertaken in Bulgaria by Chinese companies. Unlike, let's say, the highways in Montenegro or the bridge the sea bridge in Croatia. Not that such projects are lacking. One such project was a bidding for operation for, I think, 50 or 60 years of the Plovdiv airport, in which one Chinese company, Hainan Air, has won the bidding. And in my opinion, it could have turned into a very successful project, not only for cargo, but there were also projects for a school for training of pilots, for end-of-life airport for airplanes dismantling, etc., etc. But unfortunately, due to some personal causes, they walked out on this project. Other interesting project that China has the capital and the manpower and the know-how to do is, of course, the nuclear work. We have been getting quite a few interests from China and quite a few Chinese delegations, high-level Chinese delegation. We already purchased a nuclear reactor that's ready in stands by. So we hope that after the pandemic, talks in this direction could continue. Of course, there are two projects for tunnels under two mountains north of Sofia, the Balkan Mountain and Petrohan. I have lived for years in Shanghai and have been witnessing how every other year there's a new tunnel under it's Huangpu River. And Huangpu River is mightier than the Danube or mountains, so the Chinese companies are quite capable to doing those projects. So let's hope that they come to fruition. Regarding trade and investment, yes, it has been growing year-on-year basis, but as I say, we're lagging behind the progress our neighbors are making. Bulgaria's main exports to China are raw materials, and especially copper, electrolyte copper and copper scrap. And one of the main imports I have been seeing is air conditioning units, which, as we know, it has this honey bean plate made entirely of copper, which is the most expensive part. Here's one area for cooperation. We have the raw materials, China has the know-how. We have the market, it's quite hot here in Southeast Europe. So we have successful projects of German companies, for example. If I may say a few words about the organization I'm representing, the Chinese-Bulgarian Association for Business Development. Our Bulgarian members, one of them is the huge combinate for non-ferrous metals, quite near the airport of Plovdiv, maybe 15 or 20 kilometers from here. Another one is Cyanide Building Company. That's the company behind the Trace Economic Zone, in which we have more than 60 foreign investors. It's actually the biggest economic and trade zone of Bulgaria. We have investors from Germany, from all EU countries, from Turkey, from Greece, from Canada, etc. One of our Chinese partners is a company of our sister city of Tianjin, Tianjin Agricultural Company, Tianjin Nongken, as it's known in Chinese. They have a medium-sized project, agricultural project, in a small city, maybe 30, 40 kilometers away, Plovdiv. They have introduced some new vegetables into Bulgaria, the Asian daikon, also some new grains, and they have cooperation with the Agricultural University of Plovdiv, and they have been very good scientific exchanges between this university and their counterparts in China. Other successful companies, Chinese companies in Bulgaria, of course, Great Wall, that has been assembling vehicles. I'm happy to report that in the recent years, Chinese bus manufacturers, more than one, have won public procurement projects, bidding projects for supplying city fleet with buses, both interior combustion engine and hybrid buses and full electric buses. So now in Sofia, there are quite a few Chinese buses you can meet on the streets. Bulgarian has been producing buses before 1919, cooperations with leading world companies like Cetra. So there is still some know-how and basis. So it might be wise to think about maybe some assembly here. Although the country is not big, don't forget that we are a full member of the European Union, and setting up shop here, you're setting up shop in the European community with 500,000 and more customers. Geographically, we're in the southeast of Europe, knowing that the skies over Europe are quite crowded and it's not easy to get landing slots, and that Bulgaria is in the eastern periphery, so closest to China. It would make sense to, once again, for the Chinese side to look at this Plovdiv airport project and maybe set up shop here for cargo transportation, for setting up warehouses for their spare parts to serve European customer, etc., etc.
I would like to ask you,
Yes?
we just came from
From the Valley of Roses.
Karlovo.
Yes.
We visited their Bulgarian Rose company. They started exporting a few years ago. They started exporting
Yes.
some of their products. They are looking for expanding. Bulgaria is also famous not just because of roses worldwide, but also because of its really great and ecological food. Do you
Yes.
think that there is possibility of opening more export channels from Bulgaria to China, and what should be done for the obstacles to be overcome?
Well, Bulgaria is known as the country of roses, and we have been leading worldwide in the production as well as of rose oil, as well as other etheric oils like lavender, etc. Those oils in Europe and in the States are mostly used in the formulas for high-end perfumery. China is selling them more as souvenirs or part of aromatherapy and massage formulations. We had, of course, the chance that every Chinese has written his geography books and know that Bulgaria is the country of roses, and that, of course, they connect with that. Regarding export to food products to China, I have to say that our companies are meeting some obstacles, both tariff and non-tariff obstacles. Large quantity of animal feed, of sunflower oil, which Bulgaria is also a leading world producer, have quotas in China. The Chinese agricultural ministers have visited Bulgaria more than once, and we hope that in the near future those quotas, which are full, can be made bigger so we can export more. Regarding ecological products, of course, maybe we should mention the excellent wines that Bulgaria is offering. And yes, wine exports, despite the epidemic and despite the obstacles of transportation, have been growing even in the last 2 years. There are also some Chinese companies that set foot in Bulgaria, purchased vineyards, and are quite successful and exporting to China as well. So, well, welcome to Bulgaria. Try the wines and decide for yourself which one is best for your taste or for your customers.